Hi guys, welcome to the video. Today is one that I am so excited for. It has been long awaited. Today, as you can tell from the title, I'm doing an acotar reading vlog and I'm so excited. I've had this book since 2015, literally back when it came out, but I've never read it. And some friends from work asked me if I wanted to read it with them and I was like, yeah, of course I do, because I've wanted to read it for forever. So we are doing that today, but I'm also excited for this video because it is the first installment, I guess, in a series that I'm bringing to my channel. Basically, what happened was at the beginning of this year, I was counting up all the books on my bookshelf and I realized that I had far too many books on my physical TBR. Like, the number was way too high. So I told myself 2023 would be the year that I just read physical books on my TBR until I kind of got it to shrink a little bit, got it a little bit smaller. But then, of course, the library got to me, new releases got to me, I kept buying books, and I just have not stuck to that resolution, that goal. So I figured instead we could make a game out of it and have some fun with trying to narrow down my TBR. So I figured I could make a series on my channel called Tackling My TBR. Basically, it's gonna be a fun way for me to work my way through them by choosing books every week or every couple weeks, I don't really know yet, based on this jar that I have. It has little prompts in it about what kind of books I should be reading, and I will make reading vlogs based on the prompts. So obviously this video is already pre-chosen. I'm doing an acotar reading vlog, but it will be a fun way for me to work my way through my TBR. It will also be a good way for me to get over my fear of reading vlogs because I feel nervous whenever I have to make them, but doing these will definitely help me get over that, and it will also hopefully be a fun and entertaining way to get videos to you guys and hopefully be something that you enjoy. So I'm really excited about this series. Again, I'm calling it Tackling My TBR because I thought it just made sense and it's like a cute little name. I don't know, I thought it was fun, but I'm very, very excited to be starting these videos. Sometimes it will be a video based on one single book. Other times it will be a week of reading and it'll have several different books in the vlog. It's all gonna be different, but either way, it will be a way for me to lower down that number on my physical TBR, and I'm so looking forward to it. It's gonna be so much fun. With that being said, again, acotar is the book that we are focusing on today. I have it right here. I am starting it today. I don't know much about this book. I bought it back when it came out, as I said, but I have not gotten too many spoilers. All I know is it's so popular. So many people have said to read it. This will be my first Sarah J. Maas book, and all I really know is that when she first started this series, it was a very, very light Beauty and the Beast retelling, which I love that movie, so I'm very stoked for that. But I do know it's very much fantasy and I'm still working my way into that genre. So there are things like fae and magical creatures that I've never seen before. So we're gonna see what I'm getting myself into. It's gonna be very different than anything I've read before, but hopefully I will enjoy it as much as everybody else seems to because it is so hyped up. I've heard that this is more of a series that's like romance with a side of fantasy versus fantasy with some romance in it. So that sounds fun. I'm very excited to see what I'm getting myself into. And yeah, I just can't wait to start. So the goal is to reach page 180 by tomorrow. That's chapter 20. How doable that is, I don't know, because obviously starting a new fantasy book can be really hard. Sometimes it's really hard to get into and it takes a while to read, but that is the goal. We'll see where I get. And I'm just really excited to be reading this and documenting my journey with you guys. So I'm gonna go get started and I will keep you guys updated on what I think. Okay, I'm so sorry if you can hear my AC, but I'm not turning it off. It's over 100 degrees outside, but I'm not going to update you after every chapter. I just felt the need to right now because I just finished chapter 1, and what a fun way to start the book. Like, I feel already so drawn into the story. We open up with Feyre, that's how you say it, right? Feyre, I believe. Hunting in a forest. It's winter, and she finds a deer, and then this wolf comes out of nowhere, and just like the hunting and in the winter type thing was giving me like Catching Fire vibes, like the beginning of Catching Fire when Katniss is in the forest hunting and it's winter. That was like what it was giving, which, if you know me, I relate everything I can to the Hunger Games because I love it so much. So I feel like that immediately just had me invested. And then I don't know much about fairies or anything that's gonna be in this book, but the wolf that came out of nowhere, she was like, maybe it's a fairy, maybe it's a wolf, I don't know, but this could be dangerous. And I'm like, tell me more. Like, that was so fun to me because now I'm like, well, I want to know more about the fairies and why they're so scary, why they've been so bad to these people, everything. So safe to say I am already very invested, 7 pages in, 8 pages in, whatever, and I'm having a good time. I know it's very early on, but I'm getting very good vibes so far, so I'm gonna go keep reading and see how far I can get. We've also learned one last thing, that Feyre and her family are mortals, and that is different from Fae. I was under the impression that Feyre was a Fae. I don't know why. That's just what I thought I had heard all along, but again, I don't really know anything about this, but now I know that Feyre is just a mortal and her whole family is, and that's, I feel like, important information for me to know. So yeah, just really enjoying it. Okay guys, so apparently I knew less about this book than I thought, because I'm sitting here learning things about it, and then I just read the back of the book and they were things that were literally told on the back of the book. So I clearly knew absolutely nothing going into this, but we are about 60 pages in right now. We're on chapter 8 or 9, I think, and Feyre has been banished to Prythian, I think is what it's called. By the way, this is going to be a fully spoiler vlog. I'm not going to avoid spoilers because I feel like it's more fun when we can talk about everything that happens in the book. But she has been sent there because she did end up killing a fairy. That wolf in the beginning was a fairy. And so Tamlin has officially entered the book. And I now know that it is Tamlin because it says so on the back. So what do you know? I'm learning things right now. But I don't know much about Tamlin other than that a lot of people don't like him. So obviously right now I don't have any reason to like or dislike him other than the fact that he separated her from her family, but like that was just because of the treaty, so what can he do? But I am really liking learning about this place where all the fairies live, and it's very interesting to me. I really like the world building so far. It's very intriguing and I just cannot wait to see what happens next. But I just wanted to update you and tell you that Tamlin is in the story now and we are meeting more characters, so that's really fun. I'm gonna go keep reading now. It is a couple days later and I'm here to obviously update you about acotar because I have read more of it. I did reach chapter 20, which was my goal originally, so I just thought it was a good time to update you about my thoughts so far. We are nearing the halfway point, which is very exciting, but I have a few thoughts written down that I just wanted to kind of talk about. First and foremost, let's talk about Feyre. She is a badass. I love her. I, for some reason, didn't think I was really gonna like her character, but like I just really do. I think she's really fun to read about. She is really good at, you know, fending for herself, sticking up for herself, and I just really enjoy her character. Tamlin, on the other hand, I still am not sold on. He's kind of like nice at times, but I don't love him that much. We did just learn, spoiler, that he is a High Lord, which doesn't mean a lot to me because I still don't understand everything about this, but I do know that it means that he is more powerful than anyone else, and he can kill basically anything, so that's very interesting. Lucian, I learned how to say his name, love him. I don't know why, I just think he is such a funny character. He is very scary and mean, but he clearly has a soft spot for Feyre, and I just love reading about him. He just makes me laugh, and I don't know. I think it's a good time whenever he is in a scene, and I'm definitely seeing where the Beauty and the Beast retelling is coming in because like the whole book so far, Feyre was cast off to Prythian for the rest of her life. She can't go home and see her family, so she was taken from her dad, which is like Beauty and the Beast, of course, and now she's here with Tamlin, who is a scary beast of sorts, and he is mean and killing things and killing people, and he just seems like a monster, but with Feyre, he can be very kind and warm, and you can tell he really likes her. Obviously, Tamlin is the love interest at this point in the story, which again, I'm not totally sold on him, so I don't know how I feel about that, but I I mean, I don't know, maybe I'll change my mind soon, maybe I won't, but I'm excited to keep reading and meet the future characters because I really want to meet Rhysand first of all, obviously because he is such a big part of this series, but I'm looking for more to happen because I am enjoying it, but now that we are almost to the halfway point, I feel like something big has to happen because I feel like it's almost starting to drag a little bit, so I want like some big action to happen. But who knows? So I guess I just need to keep reading, see what happens. I'm very excited to continue it. And yeah, I have to go to work right now, but I will read more tonight and I will check in with you if anything big happens or just when I reach like at least 3/4 of the way. I don't know, but I'm going to go to work now and think about this book all day because I am completely invested. You guys, it happened. Yeah, I finished acotar. I did it. I never saw this day coming ever in my life. I literally never thought I would read this series. And now here we are. I finished the first book and I need to read the next one right now. Like, this book was crazy. It was crazy. Like, I did not see anything coming. Let's talk about it. As I said, I was reading this with some girls from work and we ended up reading it really slowly, which is okay. I got to a point where there had been such a long period of time in between reading it that I felt no motivation to continue. But I decided last night to just pick it up, finish it, read the last 100 pages. And I stayed up until 2 a.m. finishing it and I have zero regrets. Like, zero regrets. I loved it so much. It was so much fun reading it. And I want to talk to you about what I thought because that's what we're here for. So I don't know the last spot that I like updated you guys on, what the last thing that happened was, but I'm just going to tell you some things that I have written in my notes, in my phones, and in my phone, singular, and just tell you what I thought. So first of all, Feyre having to leave Prythian and go home to her family was bittersweet for sure, but I loved seeing her see that her family was safe. Like, of course, I wanted her family to be safe, so that was really good. Also, Nesta knowing that everything happened and, like, the glamour, I think that's what it's called, not working on her. I don't know much about Nesta, but that seemed like such a thing that her character would do, so I just love that a lot. Amarantha, a crazy character. I loved her though. She was so crazy, but it made the story so much fun, so intense and fast-paced. I just loved it. She was crazy. The challenges were insane. I love the challenges, but the first one had to be my favorite, hands down. The thing with Feyre running from this giant worm, like, what was happening? I don't even know, but I loved it. It was so crazy and had me hooked. I could not put the book down. Like, it's not normal for me to sit there and read a fantasy book, especially for hours on end, but I could not put this down last night. I read it for 2 hours last night without stopping. Tamlin, great. I do love him still. I am not a Tamlin hater yet, but we have to talk about Rhysand because I think I might love that man. It's early on, but I think I will end up falling in love with him because he seems terrible and amazing all at the same time. And I can't wait to see where he and Feyre go in the future because now they have this little agreement where she has to be with him for a week of every month. It was just so much happened in the end and it was so crazy. Also, when Feyre literally dies and all the High Fae had to bring her back to life, sweet, first of all, but also when they were all like giving her these like glowing whatever seeds, it was giving Tangled. It was giving when Flynn is dying and Rapunzel cries and he comes back to life. That's what it was giving. And I was so here for it. I thought it was such a neat thing that happened and I loved it. And now Feyre gets to live forever with whoever she's in love with as a Fae because that's what she is now. And it was just so much fun to read. I really enjoyed this book. I had the best time. Again, I'm not a big fantasy reader, so I was not expecting to like this book. I literally did not think I would ever read it, and if I did, I thought I would hate it. But it was the complete opposite. I loved it so much, and I cannot wait to continue the series and see what happens next. And the hype is so real. It's a thing for a reason, and I completely get it. And I'm so happy that I get it because now I understand, and it feels so good to say that I've read this book and that I love this book. And yeah, can you tell that I loved it? It was a 5-star for me. Hands down a 5-star. Obviously, I haven't read the rest of the series yet. If the rest of the series gets better, I could see it potentially going down to 4 stars, but it will not be lower than that. I just loved it so much, and I cannot wait to see what happens next. So that was this video. I hope you enjoyed watching me read acotar. I hope you enjoyed hearing all my thoughts. This book was just crazy in all the best ways, and I can't wait to continue the series. So that was the first installment of my new series where I am reading my whole TBR because it's large. It's way too big and I need to narrow it down. I don't even want to tell you how many books are on it. So I actually don't know the exact numbers. So that's why I'm not telling you right now, but that was the first installment. I hope it was entertaining in some way, and I will be continuing these reading vlogs until I get my TBR down to a very small number. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any really strong opinions about acotar, I would love to hear about it and talk to you all about it on here or on my Instagram, which will be linked down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I am so grateful for each and every one of you, and I will see you in the next one.